This show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 793. Hello, it's Mike Matthews, broadcasting from the last place on earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today, it's the return of the much-loved feature, The Matthews News, where we look at some interesting recent news stories, plus we hear from Madam Rutabaga, Valentino, Bison Bentley, and did you know about Slacker? No, not the 1991 movie with absolutely nobody memorable in it. Mike's Daily Podcast. It's like a music service like Pandora, and there's a news story that we'll visit Mike's Daily Podcast about it. The last show, the disgruntled fiddle player and Vanita told me they love IFC. They think that it's above every other network, which I thought was shocking because they're rather conservative. And some of the things they say, they shock me when they're talking. It's like, what? You're a fiddle player and a rodeo queen. Mike's Daily Podcast. But you have interesting views on this world. I think that's true of all of us. I mean, Mike's that we have daily interesting thoughts. Podcast. Except for me, probably. Yeah! That's why I do not deserve my own podcast. Because I say things like, here in the Bay Area, you can have locally grown vegetables given to you in a bag every week, but most of the time people waste it. Look who just walked in.
Hello, Michael Masters. This is Madam Rutabaga. Oh, boy.
You're not Madam Rutabaga. You're the brewmaster.
Ah, you saw right through me and my fantastic disguise.
You just have a wig on. It just doesn't look... Why are you substituting for Madam Rutabaga?
She has a cold.
No, it's because she's mad at me, because last time she was on, we got into a big argument about her jewelry and her bracelets. I said she wears too much jewelry and stuff.
Yeah, no, she just got late here. She's going to be here in a second.
Well, she's not here right now. She's right here right now.
Hello, Michael Masters. This is Madam Rutabaga. What the brewmaster was supposed to substitute for me. Did he do a good job? Whew.
Yeah, you guys are kind of similar in some ways.
How are we similar?
Yes, Michael Masters, how are we similar?
No idea. Hey, look who else walked in with you as you came in there, Madam Rutabaga.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we think there's entirely too many characters here at the last place on earth at this time day.
Yeah, one of us has to go. Do you know that? All right, it'll be me. Bye.
Oh, I guess Bison really didn't want to be here. So yeah, here in the Bay Area, we have these locally grown vegetable farmers that what they do is for a service, a subscriber service, they will put in a paper bag, or if you're more eco-minded, they'll put it in a canvas bag, because everybody has canvas bags around here in the Bay Area. It's a wonderful thing so that we can reuse stuff. Anyway, they'll put the vegetables in this bag every week, all locally grown, and you never know what you're going to get. It could be anything. It could be beets, could be Brussels sprouts. It could be the very things that you love so much, like Brussels sprouts. No, I like Brussels sprouts, but my roommate, he's in his early 20s. He's doing this because he's very eco-minded. He's going to a very eco-friendly type school, so he's doing that. That's where he's getting this bag, is at the school. He pays like $11 a week for every bag, and he always lets the stuff go to waste. The bag just sits. He brings the bag home, puts it on the kitchen counter, and in a couple days, it's got little bugs buzzing around it, and it stinks. Oh, that's the other thing. They do put it in a paper bag, but they also put it inside of a plastic bag, which is verboten here in the Bay Area. Let's hear it for no more plastic bags. And I don't know if you know what happens when you put veggies in a plastic bag. They start to go bad, like, quick. That's why if you go to Costco or whatever and you're buying your romaine lettuce, they're in plastic bags, but there's holes in them. As does the Brussels sprouts and anything else you get. Usually has some kind of like a little paper. The bag, the plastic stops, and there's a hole, and then that's got a paper over it, so that the bag is still sealed, but the paper allows the contents to breathe. So for some reason, these local farmers that my roommate is buying from have put this in a paper bag that's inside of a plastic bag. Anyway, the food rots extra quick. And and he hates Brussels sprouts. They always give him Brussels sprouts. He was giving his Brussels sprouts to me for a while. I was like, thank you. I'm eating locally grown Brussels sprouts. And you feel good about supporting the locally grown thing, especially here in California, where we grow stuff like nuts. I was trying to say that in a more emphatic way, but I guess that's about it. We do grow nuts. It's amazing. We grow every thing. Anyway, he just lets it all go to waste, and I just chucked a huge bag of it into the garbage, into the compost, so at least it'll have some sort of second life. But anyway, that's the thing, is the subscriber services. Any type of subscriber service you have to be leery of, because there could be a chance that you're going to waste it. Back in the day when we subscribed to newspapers, we just let those things rot. And actually, I subscribe to a couple of magazines, and I've just let them pile up. I don't throw them out until I've read. And actually, after I read the magazine, this shows you how I try not to be wasteful. I then go down to the only place that buys magazines here in the Bay Area, which is Half Price Books, which is a national chain. You might have one near you. And they buy magazines for like 25 cents, but I still give them a second life. And when Half Price Books vanishes, I'll just give them to the library and donate them and be a good person. Or my local doctor's office. How frightening!
Mike, I don't like the doctor's office because they always play crappy music. Oh boy.
That is true, Michael Master. When I go to the doctor's office, often with the brewmaster with me to calm me and to make me feel sedate, because I'm always so nervous, and he'll massage my neck, and sometimes he'll kiss it.
Okay, that's enough. Stop your story there. Yeah, so the music in doctors' offices can be bad. Perhaps they might start listening to Slacker. Why? Well, they're doing some changes. What is Slacker? It's an online radio service. Now, I heard about it a while ago because I have the Logitech Squeeze Box, which I got from my friends Terry and Steve. Steve used to work there. I had no idea what the heck a Logitech Squeeze Box was. It's something they've had for a long time now. It's amazing the technology has been here forever, where you can listen to music from anywhere on the internet, basically, and from anywhere on your hard drive on a little device, speaker, little radio device. And you can set them up. Actually, you can get a couple of them, put them in every room in your house, sync them all up, and you've got a sound system that follows you in every room. It's wonderful and not too expensive to do. So they had Slacker on this. I had never heard of Slacker. It's an online radio service, and apparently, according to Gigaom.com, they relaunched their website as well as relaunched their iOS app today, and they are scheduled to follow up with an updated Android app by the end of the year in an attempt to reinvent themselves and finally explain to consumers what they are all about. That's been a problem in the past, admits Slacker CEO Duncan Orrell-Jones. He said in an interview last week that Slacker did not do a very good job of positioning itself. Part of the problem, it says here in the article, is that the company self-elected their image, which looked stuffy when compared to its competition, complete with a logo that looked like that of a classic rock station. Part of the problem was that Slacker tried to be a little bit of everything: personalized radio like Pandora, on-demand streaming of full albums like Spotify, and curated radio stations like Sirius and XM, but it didn't really explain what its key differentiator from the competition was. With its relaunch, the company now wants to put a bigger emphasis on the humans behind the streams. Slacker isn't just using human curation, but actually has on-air hosts for some of its radio programming, and the company just teamed up with a number of online personalities, including YouTube star Tyler Oakley. I don't know who that is. And Machinima pioneers Rooster Teeth to bring more personality to its programming. I don't know who they are. We are going to double down on having that human element, says Oral Jones. Slacker is also adding a bunch of non-music programming, including podcasts. Not from me, sadly, but from the damn nerdists and their network, and shows from ESPN, ABC, and a variety of other Disney properties. And Oral Jones, by the way, is from Disney, so that explains that. The goal of all this is to turn Slacker into a service that more closely resembles the best of the radio world and less the complete automation of a personalized streaming service. He said that the experience is like listening to This American Life or other radio programming that leads to driveway moments where you don't want to leave the car after arriving at home because you are immersed in a story. After reading that, I still have no idea what Slacker is. I really do. They just, what? So they're a podcast service now? They're a radio service? They're all about having DJs on? It's a sad fact, as I have realized working in the radio industry, that people don't like DJs, really. They want to just hear the music. Unless they're listening to a talk station. Then why don't they just become a podcast network and go up against Stitcher? I don't get it. But the article ends with this fact that the hard part for Slacker is to convince consumers that this is an experience worth paying for, especially in a world where there are tons of great and free podcasts like this one. It's free anyway. The company is offering a free ad-supported tier that's also available on mobile devices, and just like Pandora allows limited song skipping. This tier is making the company some money, but the ultimate goal is to get people to sign up for a premium tier. Slacker offers ad-free streams with unlimited song skips for $4 a month and full on-demand album streams for $10 a month. What do you think of Slacker? What do you think of these subscriber services? Like where you get locally grown vegetables that rot on your kitchen table. Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. We read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you would like to sponsor the show, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. Yes, the show is free, but if you would like to help support us in some small way, you can do it very easily at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Yes, the name of the show with a .com attached to it. Go to that website and you will find a link to Amazon. And if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, go through that link and we get a little bit through that. Another great way to support the show is by liking the Facebook page. And when I post a new show, share that with your friends and more people find out about us that way. That helps spread the word and it makes what I do a little less pathetic. There's also the link to where to find us on iTunes. Subscribe to us in iTunes. And you can also rate the show and comment on the show. That helps our ranking and more people find out about us that way too. There's also links to where to find us on Twitter. We're also on YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spreaker, Mixcloud, Podomatic, Yelp, and Tumblr. There's also all the past interviews and the blog and the daily podcast picture, all there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Matthews News.
It's Matthews News. It's news stories that Mike Matthews has found while scraping through this stuff called, it's ancient, it's called newspapers. And some of these are, actually all of these were free. No, I think one of these I stole from a library. Anyway, these are news stories. And it's Matthews News.
Baby, do you dare to do this? 'Cause I'm coming at you like a dark horse. Are you ready for it?
Well, it's not a dark horse. It's dark fiber. Is that the stuff that you eat it's good for your system and it's dark? Good. Is there good dark fiber? No, this is not the edible kind. It is something where the concept of network neutrality emerged around 2002 as the first tech bubble was more or less crashing. During the first bubble, there was a massive rush by many different companies to build network infrastructure, and this meant fiber optic cables. Optical fiber is what it sounds like, very thin, sometimes a little larger than a strand of human hair material, often glass, used to transmit data as pulses of light. This according to